Hello, welcome to my video. Today we're going to talk about my first couple of days here in December and my reading list and where that's going. So let's just jump into it. If you watched the last reading video, you'll know that I was working on Cold Enough to Snow. Cold Enough for Snow. And I did finish it. The writing is really pretty, and, for someone, I'm sure this is a lovely book, but it didn't seem to have a plot or anything really going on at times. Okay, spoiler alert. Leave the room if you want to read this book. Or turn off the video. Speed ahead. At times it felt like the mom wasn't really even there, like it was a ghost. I don't know. It was strange and not for me. So I did finish it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars on, what's that called? Storygraph. There we go. It's like Goodreads, only different. But they let you do quarter stars, so that's useful, at least for me. Anyway, so I did finish it. If you like pretty writing and no plot, you might like this. Yeah, there you go. I was also reading Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I was about to say bookshop. Bookstore. And, well, I DNF'd it at 155 pages. Basically, it's very computer centric, and I am not. At one point, the main character says, if any of this sounds impressive, you're over 30. I am over 30. I'll own it. So, yeah, I DNF'd that. I was going to read Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway, and I remembered I had read A Room of Her Own, and I think I gave it like 3.5 stars, and I feel like I've had enough Virginia Woolf for my lifetime. Maybe I'll change my mind when I'm 50. I don't know. But for now, I'm good. So I decided to skip that. I read one, maybe 2 sentences in this book, Isn't It Bromantic? And they were talking about someone pooping his pants, and I don't think that's, for me. So I DNF'd that. I didn't even bother to put it on my storygraph because I only read 2 sentences. So then I started Into the Heartless Wood. I like it so far. It's really dark, like really dark, like really dark. But I'm only 43 pages in. So far, I don't think it's spoilers to tell you what happened in the first 2 chapters. So the forest is like cursed, and there's like a forest queen, and she's evil, and she has 8 daughters who kill people and steal their souls so she can eat them. Okay. And our story follows Owen, whose mom was taken into the Heartless Wood, and presumably she died. And Owen is left with his father and his little baby sister. And tiny spoiler, so far the one of the daughters almost killed him, was going to kill him, and she noticed there was something different about his soul, so she left him, told him to run, so he ran back home. So that's where I'm at. So that's that. And then I've also been listening to audiobooks, and the one book that I listened to, okay, so that one was in November. We won't talk about that. We'll talk about Eleanor Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine by Gail, if I could speak, by Gail Honeyman. And I give it 4.5 stars. I really liked it, but they use the F word a lot. And I gave them half a star deduction just for that because, for pity's sake, learn a new word. And what else? Oh yes, and I listened to the Duke and I by Julia Quinn, and um, well, I feel like I must have heard someone do a book review on it because I remember there was controversy about something that happened in it, and not spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you all about it, but content like trigger warning. Also the same for Eleanor Oliphant. Trigger warnings galore. They talk about almost everything you could think of that might spark bad feelings in someone. So, but it's funny, which take that for what it's worth. But it's really dark humor, but it is funny the way she processes everything is horrible. It's funny. And so the Duke and I, it it's a Bridgerton thing. I guess people watch Bridgerton. I don't know. Whatever. I don't watch Bridgerton. But yeah, if you like Bridgerton and you're not, adverse to trigger warnings and repetitive you know just dribble, sorry, then you might like that. So I'm kind of going back and forth between the two, but I would definitely recommend Eleanor Oliphant if you're not sensitive to the many topics that are triggered in there. And I would not recommend The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. So there you go. I still intend to read The Christmas Carol at some point. A Christmas Carol. At some point. It's still sitting here on my shelf. Well, my little table. And the other books I recommend, I mentioned. So I have plenty to read. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done this month, but I have no tolerance, this month, or at least right now, for anything that's even remotely, just unenjoyable. Like, my TBR is far too short or far too long, and life's too short. So there you go. Yeah. So tell me what you're reading down below. If you're looking for something to read, I've told you my opinions on some of this stuff. So yeah, into the library bag some of this is gonna go. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Into the Heartless Wood, though. I want to read more of that tonight. Have about an hour and a half before I have to do something else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this. It sounds like dreadful, but it's my kind of dreadful. Today I was reading or watching YouTube. I was watching the book Leo, and she mentioned dark cottagecore, and I think that this is what that is, dark cottagecore. So yeah, I like that sort of thing. So I look forward to finishing it tonight. All right, like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and I'll talk to you about other things in the next video. All right, good night.